1999. That may be one of the earliest memories I have. I remember kindergarten. I was 6 at the time. I remember cartoons, Saturday morning cartoons to be specific. I remember comic books. I remember superheroes fighting great evils and always saving the day. Very few things touch people's life like stories do. Fictional stories compel us to be better. They compel us to do better. They compel us to be everything we can be. 1999, I read my first Spider-Man comic. Now, as anyone knows me, I'm a Superman guy all the way, but Spider-Man will always hold a special place in my heart, and so will his daughter, May Parker, being my favorite Marvel character ever, May Parker. These characters hold a special place. There are very few people in reality who are as kind-hearted and are as good a people as these fictional characters we read about and idolize. I'm a bit late to this, but I felt like I need to say something. After being able to kind of get through this without choking up, Stan Lee created imagination. He gave us the gift of alternate worlds and ultimate stories in a way very few people have. Very few people have touched the lives of as many people as he has. And it's hard to imagine anyone who will after him. I remember the first Spider-Man comic I read. It was Ben Reilly, not Peter Parker, who was Spider-Man at the time. And he was fighting Doc Ock in the first issue I read. I think it was Doc Ock was robbing a bank or something, kind of meaningless, just simple. But I always remember the costume. I remember the way he stood. I remember one line. With great power comes great responsibility. Not too long after that, I had the pleasure of reading the first issue, or the What If issue, of my favorite Marvel comic, my favorite Marvel hero. What if May Parker survived? See, back then, they had a running storyline where Mary Jane Watson, or Parker at the time they were married, was pregnant with May Parker. Now, unfortunately, in the main comics, she did not survive. She was born stillborn. But in this What If comic, imagine what if she survived and went on to become a hero. Then they ran with it. Made a whole series out of it. Made a whole world out of it. MC2. One of my favorite comic universes. Not without fault. Definitely fault. Lots of bad decisions made on it. But I always remember J2 and American Dream and Warhawks. I always remember Spider-Girl. Some odd years later, they rebooted it, but at the time, I wasn't into comics. It didn't matter as much to me, and I fell out of love with them through middle school. It happens. We think we outgrow things. It wasn't until much later in life I came back to them. It wasn't until about 2013 when Man of Steel came out, and I went, let me look at these again. So I started reading them again. And now every week, I get or download comic books every Wednesday. Marvel, DC, Image. I find random stories that seem interesting. I have so much downloaded that I'm going to have to buy an external terabyte hard drive just to hold it all. Comic books are modern day mythos, modern day legends. They're the Greek myths and stories for today. And I will always remember the first Marvel comic I ever read. It was Spider-Man. The character that to this day has meant a lot to me. So, thank you, Stan Lee. I don't think there's any better words to say than thank you. You've helped me through dark times. After my father died, comic books helped a lot. Helped me grow as a person. It took a couple years, but it helped. The ideals in them have helped me become a better person. One of my most prized possessions is an issue of The Amazing Spider-Man, and it's the wedding issue between Spider-Man, Peter Parker, and Mary Jane. I'm a better person because of what you wrote, what you created. So thank you. There's no better way to say it. And when the day comes, the last cameo you filmed is in a movie, I'll be saying the same thing. Thank you. Not too many people like you exist. Not too many people like that exist. That teach us how to just be better. Thank you, Stan Lee. Thank you.
You taught me the courage of stars before you left. How light carries on endlessly, even after death. With shortness of breath, you explain the infinite. How rare and beautiful it is to even exist. I couldn't help but ask you to say it all again. I tried to write it down, but I could never find the pen. I'd give anything to hear you say it one more time. That the universe was made just to be seen by my eye. And I couldn't help but ask you to say it all again. I tried to write it down, but I could never find the pen. I'd give anything to hear you say it one more time. That the universe was made just to be seen by my eyes. With shortness of breath, I'll explain the how rare and beautiful it truly